Can the Texans offensive coordinator step up when they need him most? Let's go inside the locker room. Hear from some new voices as well. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the locker room on YouTube. You know what it is. Let's get it. Hey, locker room. Yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk. Yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every angle's what we really do. We the source. We the pulse of the city too. Landlocked. Got the game in the headlock. Local.
Happy Thanksgiving to all. It is the locker room, number one source for Texans digital content. Hopefully all y'all are getting ready to do whatever the heck you decide to do tomorrow. Texans will be off. They were not today. And then 3 sleeps from now, there'll be a game in Indianapolis. It's going to be a big game for the Texans. Make or break, really, when it comes to the division. You lose this game, you're not winning the division. You lose this game, the odds of you making the playoffs are very, very low. So this is as close to as a must-win without being the literal must-win that a lot of guys obsess over. Shout out to Sleeper for sponsoring the video. I got my Sleeper picks in yesterday. Been using Sleeper as my scoring app. I'll be using it tomorrow throughout the Thanksgiving days. If you want to get in the game, there's a lot of people who've gotten in the game. Then you can do so. $20 free deposit, and then you can use the promo code LOCKER, and you can get $100 up to 100%, 100% up to $100, I should say, but $20 entry if you want to do it. Even if you don't want to play the game, if you're weird like that, and you don't want to play it, then choose it as the scoring app. Take my word for it. You will not regret it. So Nick Caley, we've talked a lot about Nick Caley. DeMeco Ryans, I was very proud of DeMeco Ryans for saying how terrible the Texans' second half offense was the other day. A lot of times he's kind of defends his guys. I don't think Nick Caley deserves to be defended at this point. I don't think the offense as a whole deserves to be defended at this point, but let's hear what Nick Caley had to say about that second half offense. I was there. But if I hadn't been there, I would assume got to be better would be mentioned because he is a poor man's Bill O'Brien, and that's kind of what Bill O'Brien would say. But let's hear Nick Caley defend that. Not even attempt to defend, but talk about that second half offense.
We got to play a lot better, cleaner. Had a couple self-inflicted wounds, right? The P and 10 drive, the drive started right out the gate. Chubb would have gotten the ball, I think, to minus 40, call it 3 or 4. Went backwards multiple times that series, and I just don't think played as clean as we did overall. And not good enough. So got to do a better job there. Got to capitalize when we get down in the red zone.
You had 60 yards, dog. You had 60 yards in the second half, brother. That's not hey, we had a couple penalties or anything like that. Like you had 60 yards, brother. It's not, you're going to get penalties in football games. You had 60 yards, dog. That's not going to cut it. So they got to figure something out. And I will say Nick Caley is definitely showing signs of someone who either is not going to be good at this or is really, really new at this. And I think the point that I pointed to before that second half even happened was the best drive the Texans had. They score a touchdown. And then on the first play of Buffalo's drive, Kalen Bullock gets an interception. Could have been a touchdown, wasn't. And the offense had to go out there, and Nick Caley wasn't ready to go. I asked him about the challenges in that situation and being prepared. He insists they were prepared. I think we could tell just by looking at him and looking at what they did. He was not.
What are the challenges for an OC when you have a long drive, you score a touchdown, and then on the first play, you get an interception, then you have to go call plays? Can that catch you by surprise, and how do you think you handled it when it happened?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is you try to be ready for every sudden change situation. I mean, we've got drive starters. We have, whether it's, P and 10 situations, whether it's field zone situations that we plan for. So you rely on your preparation or your evolution in terms of some things you have to adjust as the game goes on, and you go. I have confidence in everything that we do, and felt ready to roll.
Why would you have confidence in everything that y'all do at this point? Just because you have to? Because you have to say that? Like, where is the confidence? What's it based on? I have confidence in everything that we do. That's what he just said. How? We'll get to what Nick Caley needs to do to improve. We'll give some tangible stuff in a sec. First, let's talk about the defense. The defense is the saving grace of this football team. And DeMeco Ryans has an uncanny ability to make quarterbacks, even good ones, look stupid. And we've seen that when it matters most. We've seen that in the middle of the season, whether it was Justin Herbert throwing more interceptions in the playoff game than he did all season long, whether it was Josh Allen last year and then Josh Allen a few days ago. He has an uncanny ability to make good quarterbacks look really, really stupid. Here's my thing, though. I don't think he considers Daniel Jones a good quarterback. I can speak that DeMeco. I kind of read between the lines sometimes when DeMeco speaks. And you can tell when he really, really, really respects someone. And you can tell when he just kind of looks at him as, not a big deal. I'll let you decide, though, here in the locker room. Happy Thanksgiving to all. Here's DeMeco Ryans talking about Daniel Jones. Tell me if this sounds like a guy who respects the opposing quarterback. Quite frankly, a lot of people don't blame him.
I think Daniel's done a really nice job, and Shane, along with Daniel, they've done a nice job of, scheming it up to where the first guy is open a lot for him, right? And he's able to deliver the ball very quickly. So he's really taking advantage of that, guys being open. And I feel like he's doing a just really good job of just managing the offense. If it's not there, you don't see him make a ton of bad decisions, with the football. He's not turning the ball over a ton. And I think that's a huge improvement for him. And he has a really great supporting cast around him. And they're all playing well together. They do a really great job on first down. They stay out of third and long. So they're managing drives really well.
So Shane's getting guys open. He has a good supporting cast around him, and he's doing a good job managing the game. Does that sound like he thinks Daniel Jones is that great? I'm not saying it's an inaccurate assessment. I think the Colts have done a good job, regardless of what you think they are. The Colts have done a good job with Daniel Jones of getting where they're at. I think Shane Steichen deserves a lot of credit for that. But that was not, this guy's a playmaker. We've heard DeMeco Ryans talk about playmakers. Go back and listen to him on Monday's edition, talk about Tyler Warren. Listen to him talk about Jonathan Taylor. Listen to him talk about their receivers today. Getting guys open, managing the game, and a lot of guys good around him. That to me sounds like a system quarterback. It's very obvious what he thinks, but he does have the utmost respect for Shane Steichen. We went through the history of DeMeco and Steichen yesterday. I asked him about Shane Steichen, and unlike Daniel Jones, I think he has a little bit more respect for what Shane Steichen brings to the table.
You and Steichen have faced off in some big games, win or go home as assistants and as head coaches. What is the challenge of facing the Shane Steichen offense?
Shane is a very, very smart coach. He does a really good job of, designing scheme plays to attack you defensively. Like he knows how to get his guys in position, right? And he knows how to test your rules defensively. Just a really smart play caller, always kind of a step ahead. So you just have to be on it each and every snap. Anything can pop up. So there aren't, any plays where you can take a down off and you kind of know what's coming. You have to be on it every single time.
It's a big matchup. And if you go back to January of 2023 in that stretch, and that's less than, I got my math right, it's less than 3 years. These guys have faced off now this will be the 6th meeting, and then the next one will be 7. So these guys have had some big matchups in those times. One of them was a NFC Championship game. One of them was an early in the season, their first divisional game, I believe, against one another. We've had a winner go home game sprinkled in there, and now they got this one. So they've got a lot of history, and you can tell that DeMeco has a lot of respect for what Shane Steichen brings to the table. I got a lot of respect for what Dan the Man and Texans Turf bring to the table. It is absolutely the best thing about my house. One of the best things. The property value increases. The neighbors are jealous. There's no mud. There's no insects. It's stressful to shop for turf. It's stressful. It's worse than shopping for a car. You got to find someone you trust. Now, the thing about a car is you need it 100%. This is just something that you don't know you need till you actually have it. And quite frankly, talking to other guys in the industry, it can sour you on the possibility and the excitement of getting this done. I did it. I was very frustrated after I talked to a handful of slime balls who were trying to rip me off, act like my job wasn't big enough, act like they had to put some minimum on me. Dan didn't do that. He was the 6th, 7th, whatever guy that I talked to, and he took care of my backyard. The drainage is there. Putting greens, play areas, all that. It's great. Always green, always clean. And the neighbors, a lot of neighbors, a lot of viewers have taken me up on it and done it, and you won't regret it. It's the best thing to have in the holidays, especially once you get that fall weather. So go to TexansTurf.com. Let Dan the Man take care of you, because I promise you that he will. Jalen Reed, the rookie safety for the Texans. I talked to him at the Combine. And Jalen Reed was a guy who had a lot of admiration for the Texans defense before he even knew it was a possibility that he was going to play here. And now he's the starting safety. I called him the starting safety because I said, we got to talk to you, the starting safety. He said, chill. You'll hear him say chill again, because Ariante Ursary kind of gave him a hard time about all the media being around him. And he said, chill. He's trying to stay humble, and he's trying to keep his head on a swivel. He's facing someone he knows very well this week in Tyler Warren. And I got a feeling those guys will cross paths. I got a feeling they had a lot of battles. We'll hear him talk about that in a sec. But first, I do want to shout out the Texans front office. And I don't know whether you credit DeMeco. I don't know whether you credit Caserio. I don't know who is the one responsible for this going the way that it has, but God knows if it went the opposite. Like when we talk about the offensive line, we would talk about it and we'd break it down top to bottom. But I do think they deserve credit. As bad as they've been drafting offensive linemen, when it comes to DBs, they've done an excellent job in the secondary. Just think about it. Last year, they added Kamari Lassiter in the 2nd round. They added Kalen Bullock in the 3rd round. And then this year they get Jalen Reed late in the draft, and he's one of your starting safeties right now. And he might be one of your starting safeties of the future. And I think he fits into what they do and the way in which they play. And for as much as we talk about, and this might go back to DeMeco, no offense. But the way that they handle the defense, and the defense is obviously the straw that stirs the drink, they deserve a lot of credit. And Jalen Reed is, quite frankly, the last example. They don't even need 1st-round picks to hit on these guys. They hit on them. And I think this guy's going to be a good ball player. I do anticipate some struggles and maybe fans being a little bit frustrated, but that's part of being a safety in the NFL. But I like the kid. I think I think he's a sharp dude. I think he's intense, and I look forward to watching him this Sunday. And this is the first time that y'all are hearing from him this season. This is Jalen Reed, the safety for the Texans, talking about going against his former teammate Tyler Warren, the swarm mentality, all that type of stuff. And then Ariante Ursary is going to come through, give him a hard time about having so many media types around him. Here's Jalen Reed.
All right, so obviously you're pretty familiar with Tyler Warren. I'm sure y'all have had some battles in practice. What were those like?
Them battles was tough, I'm always say I got the best of it, but he's a good competitor. Tyler Warren, I've been going against him since freshman year. He's a good tight end. They scheme him up very well. He's a great player, great run at the catch. So I'm excited to go against him.
What are some of the things that make him so difficult to hold at?
He's a very smart football player, and when you got a guy like that, you can scheme him up very well, and he knows the in and outs of the defenses that he's going against. He watches a lot of film. I played with him for 4 years, so I could just tell. I can know that he's over there probably watching a lot of our film and probably trying to scheme up his own stuff. So I know he's a smart player, so that's what makes him special.
How you feeling? Got the start under you. How you feeling?
I feel good. I've been waiting on that. I just waiting on my opportunity, but it's the NFL. You just gotta wait on your opportunity, and when it presents itself, you gotta go out there and handle business.
What was it like the way you had to wait? Obviously being injured. What was it like watching? What did you take away most from that?
I was really just learning a lot, leaning on a lot of my vets. I say MJ Stewart and Jalen Mills. They did a lot for me when I was injured. They took me up under their wing, especially MJ Stewart. I was just learning. Just waiting on my time. Whenever it comes, I knew I'd be ready. I was prepared. And then from there, just went out and ball.
What have you learned about the defensive standard here? I'm sorry.
One of the things people talk about is how you communicate. Can you talk about how you focused on that in a positive way, how well you do that?
That's something that's real big in our defense. Communication is probably top tier thing you got to do at safety. Chill. The thing you got to do at safety, in our defense, that's something DeMeco preaches, something our safety coach, Coach Steve preaches. So, that's something I was always good at in college. I gotten better over the time here for the Texans. So, that's something that I've been had. So, I got to continue to do it.
You learned about the standard here for defense, being a part of it, NFL's #1 unit and all that.
You said it right there. Just being on the sideline, when you're just learning and when you just evaluating the defense, you're not in the game. You see the way they're flying to the ball. You see the way they're swarming. You see the way everything's going for them. So, when you get out there, you got to do the same thing. So, we got guys and leaders on the defense that's taking charge, Aziz and Will. When you see the way they playing, there's no way you can go out there and not play how they play and hunt.
With your size and your stature in your mind frame, how good are you? How good can you be as far as helping stopping Jonathan Taylor in the run game?
Say it again?
With your size, your stature, and your mindset, how much of an asset are you to stopping Jonathan Taylor in the run game?
I feel like I can do a great job, I'm just going to do my job, whatever it's come, the ball comes towards me, and I got to tackle it and just do whatever Texans tell me to do.
He's an easy guy to root for. And he kind of fits what they're about. And if you follow this channel, you remember when you talked to him at the combine and he knew everything about the Texans secondary. He was naming guys, all that. And now he's got to go against Tyler Warren. And he's filling in for MJ Stewart, who got his opportunity. He said it was a big thing watching him and all that, but not the start he wanted to his career with the injuries. But I think he's going to be a good ball player, and I think it's just another hit for the Texans. Their superpower, the defense, and their very strong ability to find DBs day 2, day 3, whatever. If only they had that ability on the offensive line, we might be talking about the Colts being 2 games behind the Texans instead of the Texans being 2 games behind the Colts. But that's just kind of the card that they've been dealt. What Nick Caley needs to improve. I think there's a number of things that he needs to improve, but his number one thing is we talk about what CJ Stroud learned potentially while watching Davis Mills. What did Nick Caley learn while coaching Davis Mills? Because Nick Caley's existence is not going to be maximizing Davis Mills. His existence is going to be maximizing CJ Stroud. And I think using guys' skills would be a good start, whether that's Jalen Knoll, whether that's Woody Marks. We went on that rant yesterday. Woody Marks, one of the better receiving running backs in recent college football history. And for whatever reason, they don't use him. I asked Nick Caley about that. This is just more cluelessness from him when it comes to the inability to use guys' skills. But I asked him about the Woody Marks thing. I mean, you would think that he's actually throwing him the rock. Spoiler alert, he's not.
Woody Marks, he was one of the better receivers in college that we've seen at the running back position. Do you feel like there's more of an opportunity to maybe utilize that skill in this offense?
Yeah, I mean, I think Woody's got a very good skill set, terrific hands, good feel. But absolutely, I mean, I think he's continuing to grow, and I think he's shown that with some opportunities, and I think he'll continue to grow, and we'll continue to grow with him in the offense.
Okay, I mean, he's got the skill set. Use it, then, sir. I mean, this goes back to some of the other stuff. Use it. Use these skills that you got. This is he acknowledges that these guys have these skills, but these skills aren't being displayed. And it's not for a lack of execution, it's for a lack of even attempting to use them. That is the square peg round hole. That is the definition of square peg round hole. That's not even square peg round hole. That's just not even trying. That's just going through the motions. That's just coasting. They got to get it done. It's ridiculous. Here's Woody Marks. Woody Marks now just a between the tackles guy, despite his super skills. We talked to Woody Marks. Woody Marks was pretty giddy today. I don't know if he's like ready to eat some Thanksgiving or what. I don't know. Woody Marks was pretty giddy today. I guess he was mic'd up. A lot of people enjoyed that. But I also asked him about the receiving thing. And look at Woody. This doesn't look like a guy that's about to laugh, does it? He's going to laugh a couple times.
Obviously, how you are. What's your persona like when you're in that game mode and maybe you're a little fired?
In game mode, I play around a lot. Kind of just help me stay calm and just have fun out there. Kind of talking to the other team, not trash talking, but I just have fun out there no matter what. Just going out there, do what I got to do, and have fun.
When you get hit, you laugh. What's that about?
It just be funny. Just knowing that I went up against somebody and they kind of did a little smirk or something, laugh, and so it was a bigger guy, and he kind of was like, oh, junk. So I'm like, I started laughing. It really don't hurt, but it's just fun out there.
Do you feel like you feed your own energy with that style? Like as you get more carries and have more fun, does it feed you?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I think I did 3 carries back to back. It kind of got a toll on me by just water. I do need some water. Not even like I'm tired, but like my throat be dry. That's why I kind of need a CarMax.
Does it feel different because it seemed like you were in college, they were throwing you the ball a lot, and now you're kind of going between the tackles more. Do you feel like the receiving is something that is still a real big strength of your game that we haven't seen the best of yet?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll say Mississippi State, I was catching the ball at the backfield a lot, but I wanted to run more. That's why I kind of grew up. High school, I only caught like 2 balls in high school. I want to run the ball, but whatever, if I get out in the passing game, I catch it. So I want to run the ball for sure.
And Mike Leach kind of thinks passing can be an extension of the
no doubt.
too, doesn't he?
No doubt.
Appreciate you.
All right, yeah, he does. And maybe Nick Caley should kind of take a page out of the book of the Pirate Mike Leach and perhaps approach that. Use the skills. Won't hold my breath, but the jury's still out on the Stroud and Caley duo. The jury's still out. I mean, it's going to be you're going to hit the ground running. There's no feel out. Last time CJ Stroud came back from a concussion, he got to face the Titans. We know how dog-butted they've been for an extended period of time. This is not that. This is the toughest division opponent that DeMeco's faced, which means it's the toughest division opponent that CJ's faced. It's going to be a rowdy-ass crowd. Indianapolis is an underrated, rowdy-ass crowd. Good news, no DeForest Buckner. That's break for the Texans. That's a really good break, especially on the interior of the offensive line. But they're going to have to figure it out. And Nick Caley's going to. It starts with Nick Caley. He's got to be better. He's got to be better. And there's got to be some better. It's got to be better when it comes to substance, like actual substance, not just I got to be better, square peg, round hole, all that. He's got to figure it out. Because if he wets the bed like he did against Buffalo in another second half, they're not going to win too many games. And you might be able to get away with that when you face the Raiders later in the season and the Cardinals. But these two Colts matchups, the Chiefs, the Chargers, you can't do that. And because of your sluggish start, because of your previous performances, you don't have much leeway at this point. Just put up or shut up. You got to figure it out. We know the defense is going to be ready to go. Maybe the defense they're definitely going to take the largest chunk of pie. I know a lot of you are going to be eating pie tomorrow. The defense probably, like, if we're dividing the pie of responsibility of complimentary football, I would say DeMeco Ryans, Matt Burke, and the defense, they probably get 6 of the 8 slices. Yeah, if there's 8 slice pie, I would say the defense probably gets 6 of the 8 slices. And then Nick Caley and Frank Ross probably get Caley gets a half, and then Frank Ross gets a half, and then the other one we just leave. We just leave that one, and we figure out who wants to go back and get it. Will it be Frank Ross? Will it be Nick Caley? They got to figure it out. Frank Ross, by the way, did not speak today, which good for him. There's really not much he can say about his performance lately. That special teams has been really, really rough. But I did want to salute the Texans on an excellent job of finding DBs. Bitch a lot about the offensive line. Excellent job with DBs. We're going to see how Jalen Reed handles the biggest game of his young career and a big challenge when it comes to what he's going to have to do at the tight end position, starting with someone he knows very, very well. You feel good about it, though. You feel good about it. There could be some struggles. It's going to be a challenge, but you feel good about it. The other thing is, he didn't get to go through those growing pains early because of the injury, but I think Jalen Reed is going to be really, really interesting to watch and fun to watch for sure. And he has a good head on his shoulders, and he should figure something out. Shout out to everyone who's getting ready for Thanksgiving. I'm going to smoke the turkey starting at about 8 a.m. I'm going to slow smoke. I'm going to get the ham ready. Got the honey ham. And then we got the sides. I'm looking forward to it. Watching football. Then Friday, they got practice. We'll hear from CJ Stroud. Spoiler alert. They can say concussion protocol. CJ Stroud will speak on Friday. And then we'll be close to a game. 3 sleeps away. Fun times for everyone. SNL going to drop a Thanksgiving video. Me and Cody, I think we're gonna run it at 11. So be on the lookout for that. Spankies. We will be at Spankies. We have the Spankies dates, December 12th. If you haven't been out to Spankies, you need to come out there. Best restaurant in town for me. Best bargain. Pasta, pizza, wings, all that. Someone was talking today about their wings. Unsolicited. Someone that works for the Texans. They said, I love those wings. I do too. And I love everything else. So we'll be there the 12th, and we're going to push it back. Instead of doing it the day after Christmas, we're going to do it January 2nd. And we'll still have our usual 2 per, but January 2nd will count as 1 this month. So the 12th and the 2nd. And it doesn't matter. We are not dependent on dubs. We are in this together no matter what. Matter of fact, some of you nerds are just ready to talk about the draft. That's my favorite thing. We have such a I'm separating myself from it, but we have such a nerdy ass core fan base that at times are just ready for the draft. Best time of the year. I love the draft too. How about a season? So there's no such thing as tapping out in this community. We appreciate y'all. We're very thankful for y'all. We're thankful that it's Colts week, and thankful they get to sit on my ass and watch some football tomorrow, and then get right back at it. Subscribe, like, right along. Download the Sleeper app as your scoring app. Get that free $20. Use that promo code LOCKER, and let's do the damn thing. Happy Thanksgiving to all. Talk to you mañana. Appreciate y'all for rolling through. Always remember, when it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together. Let's feast.
Every time, can't stop, won't stop. Yeah, we top 2 and we not too. Plugged in daily digital on YouTube. We got taste for days. Opinions to give, we got takeaways. If it's up, then it's up. We number 1. You don't need to try your luck. Locker room, yeah, we in the locker room. Texas talk, yeah, you know what we about to do. Localize every